We have had many innovations as an organization, LVZT Health. So the first innovation that we had was around in 2013 when we piloted a partner notification service in a female sex worker in Mlolongo. So what happened in that case is we followed an HIV positive female sex worker. Then from that female sex worker, we asked her to provide us with sexual contacts, the people she was having sex with. And from that seed, we tested quite a huge number of individuals, and more than 2/3 were HIV positive. So like a huge number, because if you give a partner and they test positive, they'll give you either 4 partners. So that was incorporated now in the Kenya HIV testing guidelines and the WHO guidelines on HIV testing and PNS, which were released in 2015. So PNS has been the biggest innovation because we are trying to reach out to the person who had sex with an HIV positive person so that they can know their status and be initiated on treatment. We also provide HIV testing self-kits. So there are people who, either because of a busy schedule, because of priorities in terms of what they think is a priority, they don't get time to visit a VZT center for routine HIV testing. So we still invite people to go for HIV testing in the nearest dispensary, in the nearest health center. We have clinics that operate as LVZT Health in Nairobi, in Western, in Nyanza. So we have self-test kits that can be used. But the kit is based, there are 2 forms of self-test kits. There's a blood-based self-test kit that you can use to test yourself. Take a sample of blood, and there's a procedure that you use. But the most common one that we use is the oral self-test kit. So you swap on the inside of the back of the gums. Then there's a reagent. It's called a buffer. You dip it inside the buffer for around 15 to 20 minutes, and then wait for the result to interpret. So when it's one line appearing on the upper side, it's a negative test. When 2 lines appear, it's a positive test. So when the results are positive, we request because you test it as yourself. So there are 2 approaches. It could be assisted or unassisted. So unassisted, you are given the kit, go and test yourself and know the result. Assisted, the counselor will observe and guide you as you test, and you see the result with them. So when the result is positive, we advise you to go to the nearest HIV or facility for a confirmatory blood-based HIV test. So you still can call 1190, which is our LVZT Health online platform.
1190?
Yeah,
that's 1190.
1190.
Yes.
It's a platform that is used to provide counseling. So you can call that and you'll be guided further in terms of what the result was and what to do next. Okay.
The exposure prophylaxis, which is a daily course of antiretroviral drugs taken by HIV negative people to protect themselves from infection. Kindly enlighten us on how this works.
As we have said, it means pre-exposure prophylaxis for HIV.
This is used for discordant couples.
Yeah, it's used for discordant couples and anybody who could be at risk of HIV. So, because I think all of us are at risk of HIV.
Yes. So
if you have had sexual intercourse without protection with a person of unknown HIV status or HIV positive person, either you have more than one sexual partner whom we don't use protection, you are in a discordant relationship, either one partner is HIV positive, the other one is negative. So people who do transactional sex, like sex workers, because there's money involved, there's a tendency of a person paying more and not using protection. So anybody who is at risk of acquisition of HIV is eligible to take the PrEP tablet. So PrEP is basically an antiretroviral drug that is taken for those people who are HIV negative to prevent them from getting HIV. It's a daily pill that you take every day, 1 tablet. So it acts to block, so in case you acquire the virus either through sexual intercourse, so the virus for HIV has a life cycle before it gets into the body and starts to multiply. So it attaches to the CD4 cell, binds, and then gets inside. Then it changes itself. The RNA it changes itself to resemble the DNA of the body. So when the cells multiply, it multiplies along. So the PrEP tablet acts to block that pathway. So in case you're taking the tablet and you get an HIV infection, so it will not bind to the CD4 cells, so you will not acquire the infection. Yeah, so that's how the PrEP tablet works. Okay. But for it to work, you must take it every day. It's a pill every day. And at the initial stages, you must take it for at least 7 days before it is protective of any exposure to HIV.
How do young people respond to your story, especially when you tell them that this you got it from a one-time unprotected sex?
I decided to be open about my status. Is at times, involving the youth, the young people. At times they are very naive, they are ignorant, as in they assume things that such things can't happen. So I decided that I'll use my life story so that at least it will be more appealing and it will be like inspirational. And from the response that I've been receiving from them has been overwhelming. At least in a way, if someone is inspired, if someone is made to change how we see him, if he views things, and others, it may be in a relationship, especially at this age, if people are running after sugar mommies, after sugar daddies, so they're actually running away from them. So in a way, it's actually inspiring someone and it's helping someone.
Right.
In case you test HIV positive, we have antiretroviral drugs that will work towards viral suppression and make you live a better life. So we expect that people living with HIV will live a normal life, and the life expectancy that they add if they were HIV negative will still be maintained if they take ARVs well. For those people who are HIV negative, there's risk for transmission of HIV and like acquisition. So we have services that we have PrEP that can be used to keep you negative. You can walk to any nearest facility that's provided or our LVCT sites. We have condoms that are supplied elsewhere, so everywhere. So it's good to use a condom if you don't know the status of your partner, and so that you can stay negative. Yeah, in case you have any challenges, as I've said, you can call our 1190 platform for any counseling.
Right.
It's good to know, like life starts after you know your status. It's good to know your status. You know at least where you're headed to. So you have to go and do a test, and you expect two things: you're either living with HIV or you are not. If you're not living with HIV, it's not a guarantee that you will ever be like that. You have to protect yourself. Then also, if you realize that you have been infected, that's not the end of life. It's a matter of just accepting it and embracing it. Accept that it has happened. Because after all, if you think like, where did I get it? Why did I get it? It can't make that difference. So just accept that it has happened, and it has happened, and you embrace a positive living. Be enrolled to medication, adhere to your medication, and live a healthy lifestyle. And we shall be well. So HIV is not a death sentence. It's just an infection like any other.
So earlier in the show, we talked about the HIV self-test kit, and this is a sample. Duke is going to show us how to use this. It's already been opened, so Duke, carry on from here.
Okay, thanks. So as you have put it, this is an HIV self-kit. It's a testing kit that is oral-based, so there's no any blood that is involved. So it's called Quick. So it's oral-based. So I'll open it so that we can have a view of how it looks. So in the package, so this is the package.
Okay.
So in the package, we have some inserts.
These are manuals.
Yeah, these are manuals on how to use it. So you can, it has a procedure on what to do and how to use it, and it has 2 inserts inside it. So on this other side is the kit, and this is the buffer. So the buffer is the one which is used to, you dip inside the kit after taking a swab in the upper gums and the lower gums, then you dip it inside and wait for the result.
Okay.
So I'll just open it so that it's clear. So it's here. So you don't contaminate this upper side,
okay,
because it's the one which is used to take the sample from the gums. So it's this kit. So this is where you swap in the upper gums and the lower gums. Then this is the interpretation point where there's some arrow, another arrow. So this is the control arrow and the test arrow. So what you do, you can assist me to open the other from this other side. So these lines are so this is called a buffer.
So this is where you're going to dip this.
Yeah, this is where we're going to dip this after taking a swab from the upper and the lower gums.
Yes.
So this is a rack. So it's used to support this, so that when you place this, it's not falling down. So this one is a rack, and this is the buffer. Yeah. So
now we take a swab.
Yeah. So what happens? You hold this self-test kit, then you swab it in the upper gum.
We have a volunteer.
And the lower gum.
Yeah.
And then after that, you open this buffer, and then you dip it inside for 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
So the result, if the control line appears, so the upper line from this side, only one line upper line, the result is HIV negative. If the test line and the control line both appear, then it's a positive HIV result. So when it's positive, we advise that the person with the test result goes for further HIV testing, confirmatory testing, used a blood-based test.
Oh wait, so once after this, you're advised to go for a confirmatory test?
Yeah, as per the guidelines, there are various blood tests that are used before a person is either initiated on ART, on ARVs.
So shall we bring in our volunteer now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this will be a very good capture point.
Yeah.
So you'll hold this kit like this. Then you will swap the inner side
of your gum.
Yeah.
Of your upper gums.
Yeah.
Okay.
The upper gums, and then inside your chin.
Oh, even
Yeah.
ivy.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Upper. This space.
Okay.
Upper kwa gums. Yes. Paka mwisho, then iturn. Sasa hiyo side ingine.
Okay.
Yeah, so then now after that, you now open the buffer, and then now you dip it inside there.
Completely?
Yeah, completely. And then you wait for
20 minutes.
20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. When the virus gets in the body, there are antibodies produced by the white blood cells to fight that virus. So those antibodies, like they're supplying, like they are almost in the entire system in the body.
Okay.
But they are in large concentrations in blood. So that's why we use blood to test for routine HIV testing. So even the routine blood tests, they don't look at the virus for HIV. They look at the antibody that has been formed because the body saw that HIV virus. So it's specific for the virus.
Okay.
It can't be for any other virus. So this kit picks some antibody cells from the buccal cavity, from the epithelial cells in the mouth. So it's able to detect antibodies that have been produced as a result of HIV virus.
And you said after 15 minutes, one line is negative.
Yeah, two lines
is a positive result.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Duke, for the demonstration.